Hello, everybody, and welcome to Creator Spotlight, part of Creator Talk and OnCon Experience. And for those watching, yes, I know that when I changed it to Experience, the experience is spelt wrong. That's because my spell check didn't pick it up, and I'm trying to get Facebook to change it, but it could be 28 days. Oh, well, it happens. We're going to be going around the room talking about some great creators and what we create. I'm even going to kind of talk about myself. And we always want to bring the best programming to you guys, so we wanted to do this Creator Spotlight. We used to do it on the site itself, and now we just wanted to expand it to a live person because no one will talk about what they create as much as well, I should say, as the creators do. And we're going to start off with one of the best public speakers, I would say, and even what would you put it as cheerleader for the world right now, right? So we're going to start off with the world's cheerleader.
Hi, I'm Brian K. Morris from Rising Tide Publications. I'm an independent publisher of comics and novels, award-winning playwright, freelance hybrid author, former mortician's assistant, and as Rob said, I am the self-appointed cheerleader-in-chief of the United States. What I got going is Rising Tide Publications. Rising Tide raises all ships. And we also do a variety of books, various genres, and also work for other people. But other than that, what we do is we hang around on the interwebs and we do our live shows on my profile page every day while the coronavirus thing is going on. Never mind the furthermore, every day at 10 a.m., 9 Central, and every Tuesday night we talk about creativity and the business behind it on Clever Title Pending. So I'm everywhere, at least it seems right now, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much, Rob.
Tell us just a little bit about the creations you have. I know you've been running some specials. Like, get us familiar with a couple of the books that you have right now in stock that you can get these people entertained by.
Well, you can find my work on Amazon.com. I do all kinds of contemporary fantasy. My big seller is Sandestein, which is a horror parody of the classic Mary Shelley book. We also do superhero types with the original Skyman based on the Columbia Comics character. And right now, I've got an offer. I haven't even unveiled it on my shows yet. I have some books in stock that since I can't get to a show right now because we're afraid of cooties being spread around. Ooh, cooties. And so I have a special going on right now. Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion. If you like strong female characters, Volcana is your gal. It's about a vlogger who winds up finding the armor of Vulcan's fallen champion and the hijinks that ensue. Here's another book that does rather well for me. It's called The Haunting Scripts of Bachelor's Grove. It revolves around the legends of the real-life haunted cemetery in the Chicago area. The first half is how I broke into comics, and I give you some sample scripts that you can emulate, as well as 4 tales revolving around the Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, prose tales in the back. Then I also work for other people. This one's a book of 70s adventure called Quest for the Space Gods. Think Carl Kolchak meets Chariots of the Gods, in which a disgraced journalist, because of his views on extraterrestrial intervention in Earth's affairs, roams the globe to vindicate his career and to prepare us for their return. And then here's another one. It's a collection of short horror stories called The Nightmare Collective from Neoleaf Press, featuring me and 7 other incredible authors. Well, normally this stack of books here, fanning them out and hurting my hands like no tomorrow, runs around $70. However, right now I will sell all 4 of these for $50. Go to Facebook or write to me at brian@risingtide.pub, and you can get all 4 of these books in the mail within the next 24 hours. A limit of 6 of them. It's because I have finite editions. We've been running sales and they've been doing rather well. And also, I will autograph each and every one. I will personalize them to you and get them in the mail as quickly as possible. So PM me on Facebook Messenger and let's see what we can do.
And we're going to bring in JD. JD, tell them who you are. And if you guys have a screen share during the program you want to do, you want to share something from a Kickstarter video or something like that, just let me know. We have the screen share button at the bottom.
How you doing, everybody? My name is JD Calderon. I'm from Dreamweaver Press. I've been an independent publisher probably since 1992, so I've been self-publishing that long. Been working on Kickstarter and Indiegogo recently on various projects. One of them is Tall Tales. That's an omnibus that we put out a couple years ago, 540 pages. Currently available on my website, dreamweaverpress.com. Currently, we're running campaign on Indiegogo for the Oswald Chronicles. And we have a lot of these going out. So if you want, you can check them out on there. I feel like a complete amateur after going after Brian. The guy's awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. You know, I've been producing comics, love indie books. I'm a huge reader. I have my own channel on YouTube. I review indie comics. When I finally get to a certain point where I can actually name the channel, it will probably be Indie Comics Explained, because that is my passion, is indie comics. So that's my pitch.
And I guess it's time for me. Actually, this weekend I kind of want to focus on what's on Kickstarter for me. So I actually have a pre-prepared video. Look at me being ready with what I'm doing this week. So check out this video.
An all-ages tale that teaches morals with farts and shows the power of imagination that will entertain everyone in your family, including the parents reading the book. Thank you for hitting play and allowing us to introduce you to Cat Dad and Supermom, the award-winning Farts with Morals storytelling awesome adventure that people seem to love. And we could keep going that way. We could use words that could try to get you to be excited and convinced to buy it, but I'd rather just be honest with you. I'd rather be humble with you and tell you why I created the story. You see that little boy over my shoulder, right over there, and the other side, the Supermom, and the big elephant that farts? All of that is based on my boy. He's a special needs 5-year-old who I love with all my heart. And he has made me a better man and has taught me what unconditional love is. So if this story is about him, the standard had to be higher. That's why I got one of the best artists in the world in Raheel Mohsin. I got Chuck Pino, who's done such great work as an editor and as a writer himself, to be part of this. Both of them became co-creators because of how much passion went into this. It was about passion for creating a top-notch story that was meant to entertain your entire family, and I think we did that. The rest, they're all keywords. They're all ways to convince you to do it. Truthfully, this is a story that matters to me, and it had to be one of the best stories that I wanted to share with you. It advocates for people who get bullied, and it advocates for the right things to do when you see someone get bullied. It advocates for being a better human being, but it also represents my son. And because of that standard, because of the fact that my son is in this book, it had to be one of the best things I could create, probably in my entire career. Anytime my son is attached to something, it is that high of a standard for me. So if you're looking for a reason to back this Kickstarter, it's because, well, because I love my son, and I wouldn't put anything out with his name on it that wasn't amazing. Thank you for watching, sharing, and backing Cat Dad and Supermom, and Ella Fart never forgets.
And we are back live. I invited some cool people. I want to bring in everyone to have a discussion. Now, I do have to ask, your Kickstarter, how is that going, JD?
Well, actually, I'm on Indiegogo at the moment.
Sorry, Indiegogo. Yeah.
No, that's cool. I'm moving back and forth between both platforms, rather fluidly, or rather clunkily. But it's one of these things where, like, I started a Kickstarter, and I've seen, a lot of people having success on Indiegogo. Now, what I've been doing is moving some of my older material that I've already done on Kickstarter, and I'm moving it over to Indiegogo, trying to pick up new people, see if there's a new audience over there. And I've seen, it's marginal, it's very small, 18, 19, 20 backers, that sort of thing. But the way I look at it, this is materials I've already produced, and this is materials readily available. So I can produce it, put it out, and it's not a big deal. So, and I am getting some new interest, and the more I do it, the more I'm picking up. So that's how I'm moving along.
And we're going to welcome into the fold David Whalen. Am I saying that right?
You're saying it right. Hi, guys. How are you?
There we go. And Luke Stone. Guys, introduce yourselves and give them a pitch of what you create. This is all about spotlighting you guys. So we're going to start with David and then go to Luke.
Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm David Whalen. I'm the creator writer, producer, artist of The Offspring, and a couple other one-shots and graphic novels that I have out. You can find me on correcthandedcomics.com. The Offspring, we have issue 13 about to come out on Wednesday. We're really gearing up. It's a horror action adventure story, and this part of the story really brings into light the powers of the 20-somethings that we have in our this issue, and how they got their powers, why they're having all these supernatural encounters that they're having. And really, it starts to explain a lot of questions that we've built up for the last 12 issues of this book. Also, I just had out a one-shot called The Shady Lady, which is an action-adventure thriller noir that takes place in New York City, about a woman in New York City, a strong female character righting wrongs in New York City. And we just had out last year, at the end of last year, a 100-plus page graphic novel called The Loved Ones, about the children of classic movie monsters, the children of Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster, and how they find out that their parents had pretty much abandoned them, so they go and hunt for their parents. So that's some of the stuff we've got going at Correct Handed Comics.
Hi, my name is Luke Stone. I'm a writer and artist behind a thing called Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. I'm also the project manager at Starcross Comics, and I'm working on art for a book called Voodoo Nations with Travis Gibb. And I do a bunch of different pinups and covers and things like that, and sequentials as needed. So you can find me at lukestonestudios.com or at starcrosscomics.com.
All right. And I guess welcome to the show. I want you guys to put all your links in the private chat when you're not particularly speaking, so we can kind of scroll and put them through and let people see where they are. We're open for questions. I do want to ask Luke, and the big question has been, should I kickstart now? You just got off of Kickstarter. So what do you think? Yeah. It's a good time to kickstart?
Absolutely. I think it's a great time to kickstart. I blew my goal away. I think I was 1,580% to funding is what I ended up with. So yeah, it's pretty good time to run a Kickstarter right now. And then we've got another guy that's running a Kickstarter right now from Starcross, and he is already blown out his budget, like his funding, in like just a day or two. And so he still has like 27 days left to go. So he'll probably crack 1,000. So.
Now, Brian, how about being on air? This has been something we've been talking about. We're talking about spotlighting people. You're on air every day. What's the feedback we can give people about being there on a show that is very supportive? And you explain the show for those who don't know, and we'll roll on the bottom the times it is.
Okay, and thank you for that crawl there. But the graphics are a little more sophisticated than what I'm using right now. Never mind the furthermore. We are in our fourth year now of broadcasting, although right now we are doing this every day of the week because, one, people need distraction for a couple hours a day. They need a little entertainment. They need to have a sense of community, and that's what we're trying to bring. And the second thing, there's something seriously wrong with me. That I am doing it this often. But other than that, but also I get to hang around with some really cool people for at least a couple hours a day before I retreat into the dark recesses of my own psyche. And we get a lot of good feedback, and we have occasionally somebody has heard of, just like drop in on the show, like every now and then, like John Wesley Shipp pops in. And then everybody gets to see me go all fanboy for about 5 minutes or so. But yeah, and the nice thing is that there is a format, but there's never a script. Every day it is new, it is fresh, because I'm relying on my audience to come in and, one, make me look good, and two, just bring some excitement of their own. Plus, we get to promote some people. Like we've been, doing what we can. We did what we could for Luke, and we do what we can for Rob on his current project. So, and we allow other people to come in and talk about their projects too, and get other people fired up about the creativity that's going on right now. Unmute, Rob.
Thank you, Jack. Jax is being loud in the background.
I don't get to usually tell somebody that. Usually they tell me.
Hold up those covers throughout the shows, guys. Show off what you got as
Okay.
people are talking. Let people see what we're talking about.
Okay.
So now,
Oops, wrong one.
hybrids.
I think he missed it.
Yeah, he did.
I got one of those too.
Yeah, so do I.
Now, one of the questions I want to ask when we're spotlighting creators, and this is open to anyone in the chat room, is where do you guys find it's the best place that your particular fans are? And how are you now reaching them during this time where we can't do conventions? And honestly, online is almost congested now with so much going on. So how are you guys directly meeting up with your fans? David, do you want to start off?
Yeah, I'll start. I think for me, it's about just trying to be as visible as I possibly can in as many different places as you possibly can be, which can be tough. I mean, I don't know everybody else's situation, but a family, 2 kids, a daytime job that you're trying to do now at home, it can be tough. But I think trying to just be as visible as you can on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on any other platform that you can find anywhere in the history of platforms is the way that I'm going right now to be able, since we can't go to conventions. Is the way that I'm going to just try to stay visible, try to get out there, try to communicate with as many people as you possibly can, try to find as many new places in Facebook and Instagram and Twitter that you can connect with new people to be able to keep building and building and building. Not only building my own following and my own people that hopefully will go and see some of the books and read some of the books that I put out, but also trying to find other indie creators and other people out there that are doing some cool stuff like you guys also.
Brian?
Well, I agree with David. Right now, we've got all the time in the world for the most part. We might as well be doing something to promote ourselves. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's currently it's Facebook. I got into Facebook broadcasting about 4 years ago, and it's been very good to me. Honestly, I do plan to migrate into other platforms, but like YouTube, for instance. But what I plan to do there will be a bit different than what I'm doing currently on Facebook. But otherwise, it just amazes me because I talk to a number of other creators, and even in the best of times, they don't feel like promoting themselves and talking about all the cool things they're doing. I mean, it's amazing. A lot of people just talk about it, but like any of you guys are doing what other people just dream of as far as putting out their own comics or, getting it financed without having to sell like advertising or a part of your soul or whatever. And I just think it's amazing. And I just confounds me really that, other people are just like, I'm going to put it out there, but I'm going to let the work speak for itself. Well, that's fine and dandy, but they have to know the work is there in the first place. And I keep comparing this to like back in the 90s when we all talked about signal versus noise. Right now, there is a crap ton of noise out in the marketplace, and it's up to us to craft a message of signal to pierce through all that and let people just know all the amazing stuff we're proud of, and we're proud to talk about it. So that's my opinion.
I agree. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, I've heard people say that before. Let my work speak for me. Well, I speak for my work. Because there's so much of it out there and there's so much content. You almost in order to engage with fans now, you've got to be more than just the work that you produce. You've got to be a personality that they want to be they want to kind of gravitate towards, and you've got to have a relationship with your fans. I mean, ideally you're asking them to give you some of their money and their time, and there's only so much of that to go around. And there's a lot of things that can entertain them and a lot of things they can spend their money and their time on. And so I've tried to use this time to cultivate, to be the kind of creator that they want to spend both of those things on, their time and their money. So that's kind of what I use. And so I totally agree with Brian K. Morris. Of course I would. Brian K. Morris is awesome.
JD?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the rest of the guys. All of them are correct. I mean, the only thing that I've instituted is a mailing list. So what I try to do is, do a mailing list, get as many people on there as possible, as many fans on there, get them engaged. Try to send out at least 2 or 3 posts every month, letting them know what's going on. Giving them some extra content is always nice. I always try to send out an extra PDF or some pages we're working on, that sort of thing. So I think it's always important to try to reach out to the fans. I've always had a problem putting myself out there. I'm like, I like consuming as much content as possible, because for me as a writer, it just comes out, it all gets mashed together, it all comes out. So I try to consume as much as possible. So I'm not as much online as I should be promoting my work. But, things have to change. That's why I have the YouTube channel. That's why I'm here talking to you guys. And, I just want to start getting out there and start meeting more creators, because I used to do it at conventions, but I haven't been to a con in almost 2 years. So, it's interesting doing it this way.
All right, guys. Well, why don't we start looking at what you guys have given to me in the links section. And what I'm going to do here is open up my links. And we're going to start off, I guess, with the Oswald Chronicles, because that was the first one I put out. So let me share the screen with you guys. And here is our first link. Talk us through this. What is this about? What can they do on your site?
Well, the Oswald Chronicles website, webpage, a webcomic that I started, wow, it's probably been up now 10 years, maybe. And it's just chronicling the life of this character, Oswald. In this story, he is destined to become the greatest sorcerer of his time. The only thing is that he was reborn in the body of a mouse. He's not a guy, like we're normally used to seeing. And he straddles these 2 worlds. He lives in modern-day New York City. He lives on 53rd and Park Avenue, which is right on a mall in the center of the street. But he lives with a fairy and a troll. And they're there, and they're trying to guide him through his life. And the only thing is that he doesn't even know why he exists. So he's trying to find that out. He says, why am I the only mouse in existence can talk? And he's the only other animal, there are no birds talking, there's no dogs talking. He's the only one. So he's like, what the hell is going on? Why am I alone? But they're fairies and they're trolls and there are all these other creatures and there's people. And he primarily hangs out with the fairies and trolls, and he's learning magic and he's doing all these things and he's going on these adventures and he's trying to discover who he is and what's his purpose.
And right now that is also on Indiegogo, which we're going to call up right now. I didn't load. Why didn't it load? Bear with me. That is weird. I think I have the right link. Bear with me. Some technical snafus. There we go. And now, why did you choose Indiegogo this time over Kickstarter?
Well, this particular one, what I'm doing here is these are stories that I've already launched. I already did them on Kickstarter, and this is the first 8 issues of the series. This particular series, the only thing different about this is these have alternative covers. So these covers aren't the original covers. These are done by an artist. The covers were done by an artist called Donnie H. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. I always brutalize it, and I have to constantly apologize to him for it. But the interior artwork is done by Jade Gonzalez. She's from Chile. I met her on DeviantArt years and years ago, and we just hit it off. We started working with one another. She's a fantastic artist. Like you see these covers that are coming up now, that's her work. So you have a choice. You can either pick up the alternative covers or you can pick up the original covers. Choice is yours. Stories, the interiors are all the same though. And like I said, it's just a thing of using Indiegogo is, like I said, trying to find that new set of customers.
And that makes sense. We're going to head off and we're going to go check out David's stuff. David, this is your Facebook thing, just so you know what I'm about to pull up. Just walk us through what they can use, how they can use it, and what they can get from your Facebook account right here.
Yeah, on Facebook, the traditional kind of shop now buttons to be able to link to our website that has links to all of the books we have going right now. Just a lot of previews, a lot of looks at the books that we have coming up, a lot of the stuff that we've had out to make sure they can find places for print copies and digital copies. But really just trying to highlight all the different genres and all the different things that we have available. I'm a big fan of different genres. It's one of the reasons I started The Offspring, my ongoing series that we're about to put out issue 13 on Wednesday, is I wanted to try to do a book that meshed a lot of genres together in a successful way. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do as a comic book creator, to try my hand at a lot of different kinds of stuff. So like I said, we have a noir thriller, we have kind of a monster tale, we have The Offspring is more of an action adventure, horror / time travel / drama. So it really just gives a lot of videos, a lot of links, a lot of links to our website that has even more previews, more bios, and more information for people to be able to get to know the book and get to know me and get to know all the different kind of stuff we have out and the stuff we have coming up.
All right, and we're going to head over to Luke Stone Studios right now. Luke, tell us about what Luke Stone Studios can offer and what is going on with Luke Stone Studios now.
I do a lot. Mostly, I am a photographer, so I do. Originally, Luke Stone Studios was my kind of photography website, but I have since then really leaned into the whole comic book art and things like that. So I do a lot of the comic book style stuff for people. I can do anything from pencils and inks to lettering, coloring. I can even do all that, just about everything there. And so I offer all of those services, and you can find all of that there. I've got my YouTube up there where I sometimes do like live draws or quick draws, things like that. I create videos that are tips and tricks for new creators that might need some help along the process, so they can get those things going. And then, that's just kind of the gist of the LukeStoneStudios.com website. And it kind of links to all my social media.
Do you want to talk about the voodoo guy here?
Yeah, sure. That's Bishop Lucas, and he is the new antagonist for a book that Travis Gibb and I are working on called Voodoo Nations, and it is a kind of a supernatural thriller that takes people on a journey of kind of a self-questioning journey. That's really all I can say about it right now. But it's pretty cool. It's going to be a 4-issue miniseries released through Starcross Comics, and so pretty excited about that particular project. Working on finding a colorist to join that team, but it's starting to round out, and I'm looking to have the first few pages drawn in the next couple of weeks. So pretty happy about that.
Now you want to head over to Starcross Comics while we got you on the hot seat?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so I'm going to type it in. You explain Starcross, their philosophy, right, and drop some love for some titles that are going on.
Yeah, so Starcross Comics is it's a little different than a typical publisher, and we run into there's the video there. That'll get you every time.
Auto start. There we go.
So Starcross is a little bit different than your typical publisher, and most of the time whenever we talk about how we do things, I get a lot of like, well, that's weird. So Joe Spicer started Starcross Comics about 20 years ago, and so they've been producing comics, from the old traditional way to now the new digital way. And I joined up with Starcross a couple years ago, brought my title, Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, in. There you go. Which we just finished up launching the Kickstarter for the 5th issue launch. But basically how it works is we kind of help each creator determine what their what their goals are. Whether it be, hey, I want to eventually distribute through Diamond, or I want to have a monthly serial. I want to do a one, kind of a one shot. I want to do this as a career. I want to do it full time, part time, or I'm a hobbyist. So we help people figure out what they want to do and how they're going to do it. And so that's my job as a project manager, to help them take, from start to kind of finish. Joe does a lot of the typeset stuff for us. I'm creating, he does some of the coloring. I do some of the coloring, lettering. And then the other thing we do is we just help each other build our teams. And then with all the work that might go into it, basically, it's always nice to link up with someone that maybe has made those mistakes before you have. And then you can avoid them by using their help. That's what we try to do with our creators. And we have everything from horror, comedy. We do some faith-based stuff in there. We do superheroes, just all kinds of really cool stuff. You see that one, there's this character named Corn Dog I really like. I just got done launching a Kickstarter. We've got Bill, who has a part of our Connected universe, has an Indiegogo going right now. And then Ken Keller, who does Red Talon, who I'm actually drawing a variant cover for right now, has a Kickstarter going. He's just a couple of days into it. So.
And now with the Lou Dog, I'm not getting anything there.
Do Luke Stone Studios, or is it the Lou Dog? That's basically my YouTube channel, which you can link to from my site. But
maybe I could get it. Yeah, there we go. I got it.
There we go.
Here we go. I'll put the proper link in there, and you have. What are you doing here, real quick?
Well, I do a live draws sometimes. I will do like comics talk stuff. I will do quick draws, quick paints, and then tips and tricks. And then I also do some reviews. Like I'll review a comic if it's really good and I really like it. Then I'll talk about it on my YouTube channel. I haven't been focusing so much on the YouTube because everybody's got a show right now. It's while they're at home, and I would rather just kind of be everybody's sidekick and help them out and help them create the content. And then when things kind of go back to normal and people are working regular jobs, I'll kick back up and start doing this stuff a little bit more.
I can understand that. Now, David, we have your actual site here with some of the stuff going on. When's your next Kickstarter, crowdfunding, or event going on? How are they going to decide this?
Yeah, I actually don't kickstart. I don't crowdfund. I'm a one-man band, so I do everything myself. So I'm really just trying to put it out and get, like I said, people to read it. I just had and I'm planning on doing more here with all this stay-at-home stuff going on. Some free giveaways of some of my trade paperbacks, some of the one-shots that I have. So I've been doing a lot of that to be able to get people looking at those, looking at the books that I have out. But yeah, you can see on the website, The Offspring is the ongoing series that we have, the Shady Lady right there, and you can see links to other books we have there, graphic novels and books that we have. Like I said, I don't really crowdfund or Indiegogo or anything like that because I just lock myself in a room and I just do it all myself. So I've been done some books with some other people before, and I love it. But sometimes I just like sitting in the room and getting it all done myself, and really having that control over what's being put on the page, what's being written, what's being shown. So I like being a one-man band because it gives me total control over what's going on.
All right, I get that. Now, one person who's not a one-man band but is actually a Tide is Brian K. Morris. So talk to us about the Rising Tide Pub.
Well, risingtide.pub is my webpage, and you can get a full listing of everything I've got going at the moment, and a link to my monthly newsletter talking about that ever important mailing list that every creator should be trying to assemble, because the analogy I use is, what if Amazon wasn't there? What if Kickstarter wasn't there? Although Kickstarter, you do get addresses, email addresses, but you don't get them from Amazon. This way you get a list of people that you can talk directly to who are more tightly into your message than say, the billions of people who are on any other sort of book buying platform. So that's what Rising Tide Publications is about, and it's a website in flux usually, because I've always got new stuff coming out, and I've always got other ideas I'm trying to think of and implement to make it a little sexier website there. So,
all right, and can they buy books directly from here?
yeah, I believe they can. They should be able to click on a link, and it will take them to Amazon. Now, my comic book link, we don't really have enough left from my campaign of 2 years ago. Darn the bad luck. But everything else that I publish through Amazon and Smashwords is available in paperback and or ebook form. And we are going to work to get more comics out this year, and set up a way that we can more reliably get them out to the public. Now that looks suspiciously like my Amazon page, and that is all the various photographs of me, Lord help me, and that's a list of all the prose books that I have out currently. We are going to migrate some things. Once we get into graphic novels, we are going to migrate them over to Amazon as well, because there's people out there too that want to buy books. Oh my goodness, and this looks like, is that the Rising Tide page on Facebook, Rob?
That's your Goodreads, isn't it?
Oh, that is my Goodreads. Yeah, okay. You can tell how often I go there. But anyway, yes, that's my Goodreads. I also have a page on Facebook. I have a page on Twitter. I have a page on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel, and I love all 17 of my followers. I love them with a white-hot passion. But otherwise, where I spend most of my time is my Rising Tide page on Facebook, where we post daily content and 2 things per day usually, unless I'm really bored and I get on there and start posting some silly things too. And then my shows are usually done on my profile page, and it's set to public, so I'm pretty easy to find. Hey, that's me. Yes. And there's the sophisticated graphic that my wife came up with. She refuses to let me learn Photoshop, because she says I've got enough to do. So she's right, darn it.
She's got a point, and I know she's learning it. So, you teaming up with someone, that's the ultimate comic book thing, right? Team up with people, get things done together. Oh yeah, and especially it's someone I married, which is kind of nice, because I hear about so many couples. Hello, Teresa Dunn. How are you today? I see so many couples where they seem to almost have like 2 different sets of interests, and I'm very blessed in that my wife is in perfect lockstep with me. Of course, right now, part of our mission is to basically make ourselves so profitable that my wife can actually leave her 9 to 5, and she can come working for me forever, and she can't get out of it. Hashtag bring Cookie home.
Hashtag bring Cookie home. That's right.
And remember to sign up for the Rising Tide newsletter.
Yes, the next issue will be out May 1st. We put in stuff like where we're going to be for the rest of the year, so you can plan your year accordingly. And also we put in what we call the secret link that we stole from another YouTuber, where you click on the link, you don't know where you're going to go, what particular rabbit hole I've chosen for you, but it's usually, it's often educational, sometimes inspirational, but it's always fun. It's kind of goofy sometimes, and we also have frequent discounts on my books, so it pays to be there.
All right, and for once, I'm actually going to do what I should be doing a lot more, and I'm actually going to promote myself. So
good.
I can actually spotlight myself a little bit here, and one of the reasons I'm so into spotlighting myself is because of the project that I'm about to bring up. This is something I truly believe in, and not just because I wrote it, which, of course, there's that added benefit of it, but the fact that anything stands up against bullying is always powerful to me. I got bullied when I was younger. I know I don't look like someone who could get bullied, but believe it or not, I was smaller and a lot thinner. And I got bullied by people growing up, and that always left a stain with me. And that's why I created Cat Dad and Supermom, because I wanted to talk about some great things. I wanted to talk about some great people. We opened up the show with it. Some people have asked me, well, why do you keep trying to make this work? Because, and I'll say this honestly, it does work not on crowdfunding. Because, there's a disconnect here. A lot of people say this is for kids. And I didn't write it to be for kids. I don't know about everyone in the panel, and I'll ask this. Do you guys still watch cartoons? I know I do. Right?
I watch anime.
Yeah, I'll still watch Looney Tunes. And HBO is now going to be releasing a new Looney Tunes thing. I just found out the other day. I'm excited.
I saw that the other day. It's awesome.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I saw that the other day also. It looks awesome.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going back to more classic, probably going to get in some trouble for some jokes they're going to make, and I love that. Because they learned that line. There was that line that they always walked, where might be a little offended, but it's not the worst in the world. And you're really reaching to be offended, and I'm kind of excited by what we're doing with this project. And we have Raheel Mohsin, who's been part of this, and Chuck, who's been part of this. And we have the narrator who helps us. And the reason I keep coming back is because when people read this story, especially little younger kids who have been bullied, this really resonates with them. Just the fact that there's a grown-up out there trying to talk about bullying. We're not talking about bullying like everyone else. I'm sure you guys have always heard about a story that talks about bullying directly, right? I got bullied. That's the most famous story. Or the story about the person bullying. It's either one or the other. How many stories have you guys actually heard that deal with actually seeing someone get bullied and what you have to do with it when you're not directly involved in it? I've never known a story to do that outside of a television episode here or there. Giving credit to television shows, they do try to do it, but within 30 minutes they solve it. You know what I mean? And they often solve it in a way where there are no consequences. Writing this book, I did bring up that there would be consequences for my character. There was going to be something with my son Jax, and this is based on my special needs son, who's 5, and you hear him in the background giving us the Comic-Con sounds that we miss so much. And one of the things I do want to stress is this is not about a special needs kid. I have not written him to be a special needs kid in the book, and that is because the nicest way I can put it without offending anyone is simply the fact that I think that every special kid needs kid is going to be who they're going to be. And to me, this is who Jax is. Jax is having trouble finding his words, but this is how I see my son, as a very intelligent little boy. Yes, he has some problems. He's having some learning difficulties, but I perceive him to get past every one of those learning things. And there he is, all cute, and his little sad face, wondering what he should do. And it really is like, and Brian's read the book, and what I'm really proud of, and we made a big deal about the award for this Kickstarter, and I never thought an award would matter. And the only reason this award matters to me is I know the books it was against, and grown adults without children voted for this book over the other books in the category. I didn't expect us to win in this category. When Chuck put it up, because I wasn't allowed to, because it was the awards I was helping cultivate. When Chuck put it up for the award, I thought he put it up for the wrong one, because he put it up for the IP of the year. I was like, I don't know if we can win that one. That's a big one, and it turned out we won, and it was. Wow, adults picked this. And it wasn't adults who had kids who were reading it to their kids. It were adults who read it and were like, this is really well done. Credit to Raheel, credit for Chuck for demanding greatness. And, that's really why it is. One of the things I did want to bring up about this is we tried something very new and unique in this. If you notice, this is a mostly multimedia campaign. What do I mean by that? No big walls of text. You guys notice that? There's no walls of text. There's no huge, you have to read this. And we broke everything into videos. And I wanted to do that to try something new. And so far, we're seeing certain videos. Of course, the reward video, we've seen a couple people watch that. Not a surprise. This is something that people will watch, the rewards. We did one with a flip book showing what the flip book looked like. Chuck intros the team. And I even did one, and this one I'm going to actually play. It's not a long one, but I even addressed, and I have to fix this more in the risks. We were editing it, and that must have gotten messed up. Every so often when you edit something in Kickstarter, you have to look through your whole page. Something goes wrong somewhere. But this was actually talking about the risks in our current climate.
You're concerned. You're actually trying to figure out what risks there are for investing. Normally, I would tell you about how I've done multiple campaigns and I've always delivered my promises, and that's true. And I leave it at that. But I understand times are weird right now. Lots going on. That's why we've extended our delivery date. This is just in case. We plan to have it done way ahead of all of our estimates. As a matter of fact, we would like to get the books to you as soon as we can. And we can work with the printer where they'll start printing it before we actually get the funds. So we plan to, but you know what's going on. You've been through it just like me. You know things have been changing. So we did build in a cushion. But I'll tell you what, no matter what happens, we have the book done. That's just a fact. As soon as this campaign is over and we collected the funds, even before I get the funds, I will send you the book in PDF form. That is my commitment to you guys, because I want you entertained. I don't want you waiting. If something happens where we can't send out the new books because the printer is forced to close, or something happens like that, the books that we do have printed, we have hopefully enough. I mean, it'd be wonderful to get so many backers. We didn't have enough books. But for right now, our estimate's about 100 people. We can accommodate 100 people for this campaign. If it gets over that amount, we'll just deal with it when we have to with the printer. It's uncertain times. I wish I could be a lot more, just look at my track record. But I know things are happening. But I can tell you, we're going to deliver this book. The only thing that's in doubt for us is the time period. The book's done. We're not going to take your money and run. We've committed ourselves to, I have committed myself especially to deliver.
You guys get the point at this point. But I wanted to do something like that. Ooh, the camera's still up. I wanted to do something like that because these are weird times. And one of the reasons we're doing this Kickstarter right now, believe it or not, is I know my printer, and I talked to the people at the printer shop. They don't have business. They've lost 75% of business, and I want to give them business. And this is going to help me get them business. I'll be honest with everyone on this panel and anyone who watches this. I don't need the books. I didn't have to do a new cover. We have the award in the flipbook version, and I could have just kickstarted the flipbook version and called it a day. Instead, I went out of my way to find a way to help spread out the money to a business. Because once I get these books, and excuse me, Brian and all you guys know this, we don't have a con to go to. We're going to sit on these books. So I'm printing books I'm going to sit on because I want to keep the economy going. I want to keep my printer, who's always been good to me. Luke's used them. Brian has gotten copies of those books. That's Comic Impressions, and I'll call them up right now. These guys have been nothing but awesome to me. So this is my way of trying to give back to them and kickstarting something that I could have just sat and waited on or not even done. But instead, I wanted to do something to get them business, to celebrate something awesome, and to help us build a bigger amount of books so we can, because when we kickstart, this also helps us donate some of these books, if we can, to actual charities, to local areas. We try to give them to the libraries around here. So that's all the stuff that we're trying to do. So, I mean, I try to work closely with them. I try to keep the businesses going. And I'll extend this for everyone who doesn't watch the Brian K. Morris show, because you should be watching it. But for anyone to watch this, since Brian is here, and you guys should be watching the Brian K. Morris show, I'm offering on the Never Mind the Furthermore people so basically on here we had a hidden reward. I'll explain it this way. We have a hidden reward on our campaign, and that hidden reward are for adults. This is done specifically because, I understand this is a kid's book, but also adults might want to be entertained, right? So we have a PDF pack that you guys can get, or I'll extend it to the printed pack. It's all the way down here, and you guys will see. You just open it up, and it shows you what you get to offer. It's hosted off of a site. It's just simple wording, and I think I clicked on the V twice. But either way, you get the idea. So what I'm doing is I'm giving you all of my books. Every single book in this goes out, and that includes any reward level that is getting any books. You guys are going to get my entire library of PDF books for just backing this campaign. Here's the catch. You have to subscribe to the Rising Tide page, because that is part of it. So it helps me cross-promote with Brian K. Morris and get him more people and more backers. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm really excited that you guys are coming on the journey with me, and I really appreciate you all. So this is me giving back. And on the campaign itself, right now we have $2 pledge levels for a PDF. I'm trying to to do something different here where we're reaching out and we're understanding what's going on. So you can get the entire book if you're tight on money for just $2. As Brian K. Morris says, I always give a reward. You donate $1, you get something from me. And then for $3, you can get a Jack's book, the original appearance of Cat Dad, for just $3. We're all coming together right now like never before. And that was the point of today even. I told this to Brian, and you guys know this. I could have spent this entire hour making it an infomercial. And I'll play my video on the way out. But you'll see I make fun of the infomercial where it goes, buy, 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 buy. But I'd rather hang out with you guys and actually showcase the world that us creators are working together, that we spotlight each other. Like Brian K. Morris, like I woke up and I'm in the middle of teaching Jax, and we get a break because he wants to go eat cereal, because sometimes he doesn't eat breakfast when he first wakes up. We'll start school. So I go to his show, and he's like, okay, this is how close we're to Rob's goal. Let's get him over. And by the time his show was over, I'd hit my goal. And this was within the first 24 hours. So Brian K. Morris helped me get to my goal in the first 24 hours. Luke Stone got nothing but support from Brian K. Morris. And now I know Luke Stone will support Brian K. Morris, J.D. Calderon. I know he's going to do great stuff with other creators. David, I know, even though he works by himself, will share other things, because that's what we are. We're not really a community. Like, that's a lie. Like, all of us are a community because we're all friends and we're all brought together. But any comics itself isn't a community. It's an industry. And this industry requires that these moving parts work with each other, because we want you fans to have something to read. Our pencils aren't down. I don't care what Marvel and DC are doing. And the credit to DC, I don't think they put their pencils down, because they're trying to find alternative routes to get you comic books, because we know you want to be entertained right now. And that's why I brought you these amazing creators, so you could be entertained. Even if it's just for 1 hour, show them later. You got stuff that you can get now. That's the whole point of this. We want you to not feel alone, and we want you guys to know that we haven't abandoned you. Diamond might have, Marvel might have, but these creators have not abandoned you. So they're going to once again tell you one at a time how you can follow them and what they have that you can get right now so you can be entertained. We'll start with Brian K. Morris.
All right. Thank you, Rob. Here we go. Again, Rising Tide Publications, risingtide.pub. It raises all ships. You can get a lot of my books on Amazon, for instance, right now, including I sold this book, Sandestein, in 6 different countries. Whenever I read portions to my wife and she'd go, that's just wrong, I kept it. And also, the Skyman Battles, the Master of Steam, old pulp type writing, adventure. And when you get this the copy of this book on Amazon, it comes guaranteed with a scene where a Nazi gets kicked in the face. Who can turn that down? And right now, like I said, we've got a special 2 books I'm in, published by other people, 2 anthologies, The Nightmare Collective and Quest for the Space Gods. Also, my own publications, Volcana, Rebirth of the Champions, super heroines, strong female characters, contemporary fantasy, and The Haunting Scripts of Bachelor's Grove, part grimoire, part memoir. And that's a $70 value, but if you contact me through Facebook Messenger, I will get these books to you for $50, postage paid. And that's the end of my spiel. Don't forget, always promote. Back to you, Rob. Or
hey
not.
everyone, it's JD Calderon again, and I'm selling the Oswald Chronicles, and these can be seen on my Indiegogo currently. So you go check out the links. Oswald Chronicles is going on. If you go to my website, dreamweaverpress.com, hit the link. You can pick this up. This is Tall Tales, Thieves' Quest, a complete story arc. It's 540 pages, illustrated by my wife, Daphne Lage, who's an incredible artist there. And that's my spiel. So go check out some books if you want to see some crazy fantasy sword and sorcery stuff. I got it for you.
And Brian, I heard you, Jax was just begging me to put on Tiny Toons. So I didn't want to have him going, come on, in front of everyone's ears.
Well, now that I know about it, I want to see it too.
Exactly.
Party. David, what do you got going on?
Yeah, you can find us, remember, on Facebook at Correct Handed Comics, or our website, correcthandedcomics.com. We're about to put out issue number 13 of The Offspring. We have Volume 1, Issues 1 through 4 in trade and individual issues also. We have Volume 2, Issues 5 through 10 in trade also, along with individual issues. You can find it print and digital. We have a couple other graphic novels and one-shots. We have The Loved Ones, which is a 100-plus page graphic novel about the children of classic movie monsters. And I also have a 4-issue miniseries called Evolution Utero, which is about the worst person in the world you could think of. Picture the worst person you've ever met in your life. That person ends up getting pregnant with a female, with a superpowered baby, and how that superpowered baby changes her outlook on life. So that's a 4-issue miniseries we have up on correcthandedcomics.com. We also have a one-shot out, a 24-page one-shot called The Shady Lady, which is a classic noir thriller about a woman trying to right wrongs on the mean streets of New York City. And lastly, I have my novel that I put out. I love Westerns. It's a classic Western called The Last Ride to Tyburn. It's a good, solid read. I think it's got a lot of fun stuff in it, and you can also find that on correcthandedcomics.com. Thanks, Rob.
Hi. Oh, yep. I am definitely not putting down the pencil, as you can see. I am working on a variant cover for Red Talon #2, which is on Kickstarter right now, so make sure to go check that out. You can actually buy this, the original of this. So even though I'm drawing digital, I do print off my works. And do a one-of-one print on those, signed and numbered, and so you can actually pick that up today if you go over there to the Red Talon Kickstarter and go down to that very bottom one, and you can get that with a copy of the book today. You can also find my work at Luke Stone at starcrosscomics.com, and I just got done with my own Kickstarter a little bit ago. And all is not lost. If you go by Kickstarter and you find Hybrids, the Sons of Gods 1 through 5, the complete first arc, you happen to see anything on there that you do like and you missed out on it in some way, I want you to go ahead and message me. Contact me at lukestonestudios.com. If you see something that you like, let me know, and we can do one of those little side deals. You can PayPal me the money, and I will ship it to you as soon as it gets here, because I am waiting on the printer to get me all of my extra copies. So looking forward to doing that with you. And if you want to pick up any of the great books at starcrosscomics.com, just go over there, go to starcrosscomics.com, and look through there. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you can get. So you're muted, bub.
Thank you. I think what everyone's trying to tell you right now today is that we have not stopped creating. We have not stopped being here to entertain you, and we are not giving up on you, because we know you're not giving up on us. This will pass. Every one of these guys is an amazing creator who's part of an amazing team, and creation is not dying. It's not even on pause. We're stuck inside. That means we have more time to create, hopefully. Like David said, I have a 5-year-old I'm now a teacher for, so I'll probably be finally creating horror stories after I've been forced to be a teacher for 7 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Or horror stories with a light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yeah. There'll probably be some dark stuff coming for me in the near future. And teachers are butchered by someone for some reason, because they jumped my son up a grade from where he was, and they were like, "Here, have him do things he's never done before." Gee, thanks. But no, these are trying times for all of us. We're all trying to figure it out, but entertainment is not stopped. You might not be able to get to the comic book store. We can still get you the books. They have not shut down the Postal Service. We are willing to risk going out into the Badlands and getting you your books. So please, don't be afraid. Just entertain yourselves. Watch, read, and don't just waste your time on Netflix on something from 1970s. Get something from Brian K. Morris. Go to I was going to call it Instagram. Go to Indiegogo for JD Calderon. David has a site where he does it all, and Luke Stone can still get you those awesome hybrid offers and hook you up with some Starcross stuff. Make sure to subscribe to Brian K. Morris's Rising Tide page. Subscribe to IndieAdvocates.com to stay on with everything that is going on with comics in general. Our initiative is now not just indie comics, but for all comics. So stop being just a fan and become an advocate for comics today. And I'm on Kickstarter with Cat Dad and Supermom, which you can find at Cat Dad and Supermom. Thank you, JD, for backing it. You're awesome. And that's it, guys. We're going to be doing this every week until we are free. And then we might do it during the week once we're free. But for now, while we're in quarantine with you, we're going to be bringing you some amazing creator every week. All these creators are welcome back anytime they have something new. Hopefully, we're out in 3 or 4 weeks, and this will become an ongoing show in the middle of the week. So this is about spotlighting these amazing creators and all the amazing things they do. The least you could do is go out and like their pages right now and see what they have to offer. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for making my, stuck at home less lonely. I appreciate you all. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Rob. Take care. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.